You can't escape it, right? It feels like every single day there's a new headline, a new conversation about how AI is about to change, well, everything. And for most of us, that talk immediately zeroes in on our jobs, our careers, our futures. So let's just dive right into it. What does it actually mean to be AI-proof in this new world?
I mean, this is it. This is the big question, the one that's kind of lurking in the back of everyone's mind. And look, it's a totally valid concern. It's fueling a lot of anxiety about what work is even going to look like. But before we jump to the answers, we have to get a handle on just how big this change really is.
And this isn't just a hunch. The International Monetary Fund just put out a report saying that almost 40% of jobs globally could be affected by AI. 40%. And if you're in an advanced economy, that number might be closer to 60%. So yeah, the feeling is real. But what if we're all asking the wrong question?
Okay, so instead of obsessing over what AI can do, let's flip the script and talk about what it can't. Because right there, that's where we find the new human advantage. That's where we find a new kind of job security that technology just can't touch.
I love this story from Michelle Bernier over at Forbes. After going through some huge, life-changing stuff, she had this light bulb moment. She realized her most valuable skill wasn't actually doing the work. It was her ability to read a messy situation and just make the right call fast. And that insight, it is absolutely crucial for all of us right now.
So here's the big takeaway. For maybe the first time ever, just being good at doing things, that's no longer the thing that sets you apart. AI can write code, it can summarize documents, it can do it faster than any of us. The real value, the new bottleneck in basically every industry, is judgment. It's the human ability to decide what's even worth doing in the first place.
This chart here really nails the shift we're talking about. We're moving away from a world that was all about execution, productivity, following the rules, and we're moving into a world that rewards judgment, creativity, and real, genuine human connection. Sure, AI can crunch the data, but we're the ones who bring the empathy and the context.
This quote from Analytics Vidya puts it perfectly. AI is an output machine. It can spit out 1,000 images, but it doesn't have a point of view. It can write a report, but it has no clue why that report matters. And this difference between just producing an output and creating real meaning is the key to understanding our first group of AI-proof jobs.
All right, so our first bucket of AI-proof roles, these are the jobs that live where the spreadsheets end and human responsibility begins. These are the jobs where empathy isn't just a nice-to-have, it's literally the entire point.
Let's start with a really powerful example, nurse practitioners. On the surface, you might think healthcare is prime for automation, analyzing charts, spotting anomalies in scans, but the day-to-day reality of caring for a patient, that is so much more complicated.
And the job market is screaming this from the rooftops. Projections show that jobs for nurse practitioners are expected to grow by a jaw-dropping 45.7% by 2032. Now compare that to the average job growth of around 5%, and you see just how vital this role is becoming.
So why is this job so rock solid? Well, because an AI can't hold a patient's hand. It can't offer a reassuring word when someone's scared. It can't make those tricky ethical calls, or, and this is a big one, take legal and moral responsibility for another person's life. That blend of empathy, physical presence, and ultimate accountability, that is uniquely human. And this is even more true when we talk about mental health counselors. Therapy isn't about processing data points. It's about building trust in a really delicate, very human space.
Seriously, think about it. How much of therapy is about reading between the lines? It's the nuance, the pauses, the ability to feel what's going on in the room. Like Analytics Vidya says here, you can't solve that with a simple prompt. It takes shared experience, a lived context that an algorithm just doesn't have.
And the last example in this group is teachers and mentors. I mean, if teaching was just about downloading information into someone's brain, YouTube would have replaced schools a decade ago. But it didn't, and there's a really good reason for that. Because real teaching isn't just about explanation, it's about calibration. It's that instinct a good teacher has. They can tell when a student is getting it, when they're confused, or when they're just quietly drifting off. A great teacher adapts on the fly, offering not just facts, but motivation, guidance, and trust. AI can be an amazing assistant for sure, but it can't replace that core human relationship.
Okay, let's shift gears to our second major category. These are the jobs that live in the messy, chaotic, unpredictable real world. These are the roles where the plan almost always goes out the window, and being able to adapt to chaos is the #1 skill.
The perfect example? Skilled trades. Think about electricians, plumbers, people who build and fix things. Now, AI and robots are amazing at doing the same task over and over again in a perfectly controlled factory. But a real-world job site? That's the exact opposite of a controlled environment.
This quote from Analytics Vidya just hits the nail on the head. The second an environment stops being perfectly predictable, AI starts to struggle. Skilled trades demand this incredible mix of hands-on dexterity, spatial awareness, and instant problem-solving that is just so hard to automate.
And you have to think about the stakes. A plumber who connects a pipe wrong causes a flood. An electrician who messes up the wiring creates a fire hazard. This isn't a software bug you can just patch later. This is a real-world safety issue that demands a human who takes responsibility.
Now for a role that might surprise you. You'd think a super high-tech field like cybersecurity would be totally automated by now. But here's the thing. At its heart, cybersecurity isn't a human versus a machine. It's a human versus another human.
And AI is great at spotting threats it's seen before, but it can't anticipate a brand new, totally creative attack from a clever human adversary. A great cybersecurity analyst uses intuition, strategy, and a deep understanding of human psychology to outthink the attacker. It's a strategic, creative chess match.
So, we've looked at the kind of skills that are becoming more and more valuable. The big question now is, what does this actually mean for you, for your career? Let's bring this all home and talk about how you can start building your own AI-proof future, right now.
Okay, here's a pretty simple framework to think about. First, just identify the parts of your job that really lean on those human skills we've been talking about: your judgment, your empathy, your creativity. Step 2. Double down on those skills. Build on them. Treat them like your most important career assets. And third, learn to use AI as a powerful tool. Let it handle the grunt work, the execution, so you can free yourself up to focus on the high-value stuff that only you can do.
At the end of the day, this is really the main point. The whole conversation about AI and the future of work shouldn't be about fear. It shouldn't be about what we might lose. It should be this exciting call to action, a chance to get even better at the things that make us human. So the most important question isn't what job you should be afraid of losing, but which of your human skills are you going to master next?